Salve Aiden, we're in lesson 8. This is our last lesson here in our second form study. So let's take a look at lesson 8. Et tu, Brute, you too, Brutus, that's your Latin saying. All right, this is just like the last lesson, except now you're dealing with second person pronouns instead of the first person pronouns that you learned in the last lesson. So these right here, tu, tui, tibi, te, vos, vestri, vostrum, vobis, vos, vobis. So again, another declension of pronouns. Someone's walking down the hall. Let me close this door here. All right, sorry about that. So they decline just like the first person pronouns. Also be mindful of the partitive and the objective genitive when you get to the genitive plural. So just like in the last one, nostri, nostrum, here you have vestri, vestrum. You have a little footnote down there, okay? If you're talking about the object of something, it's going to be vestri. If it's the partitive, like part of you all, you're going to use vestrum. So that's all that is right there. Okay. Vocabulary, first declension nouns, easy stuff. Learned those. You have an oral drill on page 29 if you want to do that to help get a feel for these. Hopping over to your workbook, pretty standard stuff, okay? So the word study and the grammar, pretty simple. You may have to do some digging in your book, but it's all there in the chapters of your textbook. All right, so do the word study and the grammar, and then you have your vocabulary words down at the bottom. That's what you're supposed to do there, is to fill out that chart. Then you go to 47, Latin saying at the top, declining the second person personal pronouns 2 times. That's to get you used to this pattern, this paradigm. By writing it, reciting it, you're going to memorize it and you're going to hold on to it. All right, that's page 47, that middle section. And then drill A, we start reciting what we've learned, okay? So do drill A. And then on page 48, you get to a translation section. Should be pretty standard. Exercise B, underline the indirect object in Latin and use indirect word order for translation, okay? So indirect object, we know takes the what case? The dative case, all right? And in the dative case, to express an indirect object, remember you can have word order or you can use the preposition to. Here it goes again. Mary gave a rose to Mark. Mary gave a rose to Mark. That's one way of saying it. You could also say, Mary gave Mark a rose. Mary gave a rose to Mark. Mary gave Mark a rose. Hear the difference? The second one uses word order. The first one uses the preposition to. Here the assignment, use word order in translating these. So let's look at number 1 here. Tibi equum dot. Tibi equum dot. HSI gives you a horse, or he can say HSI gives to you a horse, or gives a horse to you. We want word order, so it's going to be HSI gives you a horse. So take out the word to, use word order. All right, and then on 5, a little review. Give the nominative and the accusative in your Latin translation. So the very first one is brave man. In the nominative, that's going to be vir fortis. In the accusative, it's going to be vinum fortem. Okay, because fortis is a third declension adjective, Aiden. A third declension adjective, so be mindful of that. Those are a little tricky, not like your first, second adjectives that you've gone over. All right, and that's it. That's the lesson, and then the next final week we'll do a quiz over that, and we'll call it a year. Aiden, you've done a good job this year. I'm proud of you. Once you hit second form, man, I don't know what happens, like a switch turned on, and your Latin grades got really good. So I'm happy to see that. Pleased that when a challenge was put before you, you really rose to it and took care of business. Okay, this will be my last Latin video for the year, and God willing, we'll be back in class next year at the beginning of the school year, and we'll continue our course of study in this great language. Thanks.